Welcome to Aging Gracefully with Julie, a podcast created to encourage, support, and walk alongside caregivers, seniors, and families navigating the aging journey through Christian encouragement and practical advice. Whether you're a caring parent, supporting a loved one, or simply looking for wisdom and encouragement as you age gracefully, this space is for you. Our hope is that you leave feeling informed, encouraged, and reminded that you are not walking this journey alone. Today, we're talking about socialization as we age gracefully. Now, here's Julie.
Hello, and welcome to Aging Gracefully with Julie, the podcast dedicated to navigating life's later chapters with vitality, purpose, and joy. I'm your host, Julie. We often think of our later years as a time for reflection, a quiet winding down. But what if we reframed that? What if we saw it as a third act, a grand finale, a time not just for looking back, but for living more deeply and richly than ever before? Today, we're going to take a deep, comprehensive dive into a topic that is the very bedrock of that rich life, a subject absolutely fundamental to graceful aging, yet often overshadowed in our health-obsessed culture. We talk endlessly about diet, exercise, and the latest supplements, the mechanics of the body, but we sometimes forget the very essence of the human spirit, connection. In this episode, we are exploring the profound, scientifically backed importance of socialization. We will unpack why staying socially active isn't just a pleasant pastime, but a critical pillar of our physical, emotional, and cognitive health as we age. We will examine the crucial difference between solitude and loneliness, and why one can be restorative while the other can be destructive. We will journey through the hard science that links social isolation to devastating health outcomes, but we won't stop there. We will also celebrate the tangible, life-affirming benefits of a rich social life. And most importantly, this won't be a purely theoretical discussion. We will dedicate significant time to providing practical, actionable strategies, a true roadmap to help you build, maintain, and deepen the connections that give our lives meaning, texture, and resilience. But first, let's make a critical distinction. It is vital to understand that being alone is not the same as being lonely. Solitude, the state of being alone, can be a beautiful and necessary thing. It's a time for introspection, for creativity, for recharging one's spiritual batteries. Many of us cherish our quiet times. Loneliness, however, is not about the physical absence of others. It is a distressing emotional state, a feeling of being disconnected, misunderstood, or lacking companionship, regardless of how many people are around you. It's the gap between the social connection you want and the social connection you have. That is the feeling we are targeting today. So, let's begin with the hard truth. In recent years, researchers and public health officials have begun to sound the alarm about what they call a global epidemic of loneliness. This isn't just a feeling, it's a public health crisis. The mortality impact of being socially disconnected is similar to that caused by smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in for a moment. The lack of social connection can be as damaging to our long-term health as one of the most well-known public threats of our time. And this isn't an isolated issue. Studies from across the world, from Europe to Asia, echo these findings. It is a silent killer hiding in plain sight. Why is this happening? Modern society, in many ways, has engineered loneliness. Families are more geographically scattered than ever before. Community hubs like town squares and local shops have been replaced by anonymous big box stores and online shopping. The very architecture of our lives has, in some cases, pushed us apart. And while technology can be a bridge, which we will discuss later, it can also be a barrier, replacing deep, in-person interactions with shallow digital ones. As we age, these societal trends can be amplified by personal transitions like retirement, the loss of a spouse, or decreasing mobility, creating a perfect storm for social isolation. Study after study has shown that chronic loneliness is a significant risk factor for a terrifying list of ailments: a 29% increased risk of heart disease, a 32% increased risk of stroke, and a staggering 50% increased risk of developing dementia in older adults. It's also strongly linked to depression, anxiety, and, as mentioned, premature death. But why? What is happening at a biological level when we feel so profoundly isolated? To put it simply, our bodies interpret chronic loneliness as a state of emergency. It triggers a persistent, low-grade stress response, keeping our ancient fight or flight system on a constant low simmer. This state of perpetual alert floods our system with stress hormones such as cortisol. In short bursts, cortisol is helpful, but over months and years, it's poison. It promotes chronic inflammation, which is a key culprit in almost every major age-related disease from arthritis to heart disease. It disrupts our sleep patterns, weakens our immune system, and wears down virtually every system in our body. Now, let's flip the script. If isolation is the poison, connection is the antidote. And the benefits are threefold: emotional, cognitive, and physical. Let's begin with the most intuitive aspect, our emotional well-being. At our core, we are social creatures, hardwired for connection. Positive social interactions release a cocktail of beneficial brain chemicals. Sharing a laugh with a friend, receiving a hug from a loved one, all these moments release oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, fostering feelings of trust and security. Engaging in pleasant conversation boosts serotonin, which regulates our mood. This is the biological basis for why we simply feel better when we're with people we care about. Beyond the immediate mood lift, a strong social network provides a crucial emotional safety net. Life is unpredictable. It will inevitably present us with challenges, with grief, with health scares. Having friends and family to lean on during these times acts as a powerful buffer against stress and trauma. They provide perspective, empathy, and the simple, profound reassurance that we are not alone. This sense of belonging is a cornerstone of mental health, combating the risks of depression and anxiety that can increase as we face the transitions of aging, such as retirement or the loss of a spouse. Now, let's talk about the brain. Think of your brain as a muscle. Just like any muscle, it thrives on use and challenge. Are there few better workouts for the brain than social interaction? A simple conversation is an incredibly complex cognitive task. You have to listen, process information, access memories, formulate a response, read nonverbal cues, and articulate your thoughts. It's a full brain exercise. This is where the concept of cognitive reserve comes into play. Cognitive reserve is the brain's ability to improvise and find alternative ways of getting a job done. Decades of social engagement, learning new things, adapting to new conversations, meeting new people builds stronger, more resilient neural networks. It creates a kind of cognitive buffer. So, if some parts of the brain become damaged or decline with age, a brain with high cognitive reserve can reroute the traffic, compensating for the loss and maintaining function for longer. Numerous large-scale studies have confirmed this. The Rush Memory and Aging Project, a landmark study, found that individuals with frequent social activity had a 70% reduction in the rate of cognitive decline compared to their less social peers. 70%. 70%. That's a more powerful effect than any known medication. Staying connected keeps you sharp, engaged, and mentally agile. Finally, let's examine the direct impact on our physical health. Remember, chronic stress response from loneliness. Social connection actively counteracts it. It can lower blood pressure, improve immune function, and reduce inflammation. But it does go beyond just biology. Our social networks influence our behaviors, and if your friends are active, you're more likely to go for that walk. If your group is health conscious, you might make better dietary choices. This is positive peer pressure at its finest. Furthermore, having people in your life who care about you provides a vital layer of accountability and support. A friend might notice you're not feeling well and encourage you to see a doctor. A family member can help you manage medications or provide a ride to an appointment. This social fabric is literally a lifeline, helping us navigate the healthcare system and adhere to treatments, leading to better health outcomes and a longer, healthier life. So, the evidence is overwhelming. Socialization is not a soft skill, it's a survival skill. The question then becomes, how do we actively cultivate it? As we age, our social circles can naturally shrink. We retire from work, friends may move away, and mobility might become a challenge. It requires a conscious, intentional effort to forge new connections and nurture existing ones. Let's break down some practical strategies. First, let's start with your passions. Shared interests are the most fertile ground for new friendships. What have you always wanted to do? Is it taking a pottery class, joining a local choir, or finding a walking or hiking group, or signing up for a cooking course? When you engage in an activity you genuinely love, you'll not only enjoy yourself, but you'll also meet people who share that same spark. The activity itself becomes a natural icebreaker, making conversation easy and authentic. Another powerful avenue is lifelong learning. Many community colleges and universities offer discounted or free courses for seniors. This isn't just about learning history or a new language. It's not about putting yourself in an environment of growth and curiosity alongside others. Joining a book club, whether at a local library or a bookstore, is another fantastic way to stimulate your mind while connecting with fellow readers. The discussion of characters and plot lines often leads to deeper conversations about life and values. Consider the immense power of volunteering. Giving your time to a cause you believe in is one of the most effective ways to find a renewed sense of purpose and connect with like-minded individuals. Whether it's reading to children at a local school, helping out at an animal shelter, greeting visitors at a museum, or supporting a local food bank, your contribution is needed. Volunteering shifts the focus from what you might be missing in your life to what you can give to others, which is an incredibly powerful antidote to isolation. Don't forget to look within your own neighborhood. Be intentional about casual interactions. Learn the name of your postal carrier, your barista, the librarian, and these small everyday connections create a web of familiarity that makes us feel rooted in our community. Attend local events such as farmers markets, town festivals, or free concerts in the park. These are low-pressure environments to simply be among people and feel a part of the local pulse. And of course, we must talk about technology. While it can never replace face-to-face interaction, technology can be an extraordinary tool for maintaining connections, especially across distances or when mobility is limited. Learning to use video calls through platforms like FaceTime, Skype, or Zoom can transform a simple phone call into a rich, visual visit with children and grandchildren. You can see their smiles, watch a toddler take their first steps, and feel so much more present in their lives. Social media can also be a wonderful bridge. Platforms like Facebook allow you to reconnect with old friends from high school or previous jobs and to join groups dedicated to literally any interest imaginable, from classic cars to historical fiction to a specific breed of dog. These online communities can provide a real sense of camaraderie and a place to share your passion with people from all over the world. Now, I want to take a moment to address the very real barriers that can stand in the way of socialization. It's easy for me to list these ideas, but it can be much harder to put them into practice. What if you're naturally shy or introverted? The idea of walking into a room full of strangers can be daunting. The key here is to reframe the goal. You don't need to become the life of the party. Let's start small. The goal isn't to meet 20 people. It's to have one meaningful conversation. Focus on one-on-one interactions or small group settings, which are often more comfortable for introverts. A book club is less intimidating than a large party. Volunteering for specific tasks allows you to interact with purpose, which can ease social anxiety. Now, what about physical limitations? If mobility is a challenge, look for accessible options. Many community centers offer chair yoga or seated exercise classes. Investigate local transportation services for seniors that can help you get to events. And as we discussed, this is where technology becomes your ally. Online communities, virtual book clubs, and video calls can bring the world to you. Hearing loss is another significant and often unaddressed barrier. It can make group conversations frustrating and isolating, causing people to withdraw. If this is a challenge for you, please seek professional help. Modern hearing aids are incredibly sophisticated and can make a world of difference. When you are in a social setting, don't be afraid to advocate for your needs. Politely ask people to face you when they speak or suggest moving to a quieter corner. True friends will be more than happy to accommodate. As we come to a close, I want to leave you with this thought. Aging gracefully isn't about fighting the passage of time. It's about embracing it with wisdom and filling those years with meaning. And meaning is almost always found in our relationships. It's in the shared laughter, the quiet understanding, the helping hand, the listening ear. Our connections are the scaffolding that supports us through life's storms and the sunlight that makes the good times brighter. Investing in your social health is one of the most important investments you can make in your overall well-being. It requires courage to put yourself out there. It requires effort to maintain the bonds you have. But the returns in the form of better health, a sharper mind, and a more joyful spirit are immeasurable. So, I encourage you this week to take one small step. Call that old friend you've been meaning to reach. Look up that local club you've been curious about. Say hello to a neighbor. Your future self will thank you. Thank you again for joining me on Aging Gracefully with Julie. I'm reminding you that the richness of our lives is measured not in years, but in the connections we make along the way. Be well and stay connected.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Aging Gracefully with Julie. We pray today's conversation brought you encouragement, wisdom, and a little more peace for that journey. Before you go, be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. You can find Aging Gracefully with Julie on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever most podcasts can be found. If this episode encouraged you, please share this with someone caring for a parent or send this to a caregiver who may need encouragement today. You never know who may need to hear these words right now. We'd love to hear from you. Comment your prayer request and let us know how we can be praying for you and your family. And if this show has been a blessing, please take a moment to leave a review. It helps others discover encouragement, support, and hope for the caregiving journey. For more information about Julie Cruz and Aging Gracefully with Julie, visit aginggracefullyWithJulieLLC.com. And if you have questions for Julie or topic suggestions for a future episode, you can email her at aginggracefullyWithJulie@outlook.com. Next time on Aging Gracefully with Julie, we'll be talking about downsizing and decluttering to make room for less stuff and more living. Until then, remember, you are not walking this caregiving journey alone. God sees your love, your sacrifice, and your heart. Take care, stay encouraged, and keep aging gracefully.